Okay, let's get right into it. When we think about AI, we usually picture lines of code, right? Complex algorithms. But what if it's becoming something more? What if AI is changing from just being a tool into, well, a new character in our lives, one that can influence us in ways we're only just starting to wrap our heads around?
And that really is the million-dollar question, isn't it? Is AI just a fancy calculator, or is it a new personality we interact with every day, one that's actually capable of persuading us? This single question is the engine driving some really fascinating research.
So, this whole journey kicks off with a pretty big idea. AI isn't just a machine anymore. The research we're looking at explores how it's actually becoming an active social presence in our daily lives.
And this quote right here, it's basically the foundation for everything. The focus isn't just on the tech itself, but on how that tech interacts with us. Think about it, how it can change how we see ourselves, how we talk to each other, and even the small choices we make every single day.
So, how do you even start digging into something this huge? Well, the research began by focusing on two key areas where you could already see AI's persuasive power at work.
And here are the two starting points, side by side. On one hand, you've got the world of e-commerce. How do those little chatbots nudge us toward buying one thing over another? And on the other hand, there's a real focus on social good. How can the very same technology help people who might be isolated, like older adults, and actually improve their well-being? Two totally different goals using the same persuasive tech.
But good research always leads to more questions, right? It quickly became clear that to really get what's going on, you have to look beyond a simple A to B effect. You have to zoom in on the relationship between us and the AI.
And this led to a really cool concept called the affordance perspective. Now, it sounds a little academic, but trust me, the idea is super simple. Instead of asking, what does AI do to people, it flips the script and asks, what does AI allow people to do? It's all about that two-way street, that interaction.
Here's how it breaks down. First, the AI offers us a chance to interact with it. Second, we choose to actively engage. We type, we click, we talk. And third, it's inside that back-and-forth conversation where the persuasion is actually shaped. See? It's not AI pushing a button on us, it's a dance that creates the outcome.
And what's really great is that this deeper understanding wasn't just for selling more stuff. Researchers started using this whole affordance idea to look at new things, like how interactive AI could get people fired up about social issues and important causes.
All right, technology moves at lightning speed, and research has to keep up. That brings us to the new frontier, the really cutting-edge stuff, virtual influencers and, of course, generative AI.
First up, virtual influencers. You've probably seen these, the personalities on social media with millions of followers, but they're completely computer-generated. They're absolute masters of persuasion, and figuring out how they build that trust is a huge focus right now.
And then, bam, the generative AI boom. We're talking about AI that can dream up ad campaigns, write marketing emails, and create stunning images out of thin air. This tech isn't just delivering a message anymore, it's the one creating the persuasive message from the very beginning.
So how do we even process all of this? Well, we all have this built-in thing called a persuasion knowledge system. The easiest way to think about it is like a mental ad blocker. It's that little voice in your head that says, I see what they're doing here. They're trying to sell me something. The big question is, can AI become so human-like, so personal, that our mental ad blocker just doesn't switch on?
So how on earth do you study something this complicated? It's not like you can just ask people, hey, did that AI persuade you? To get a real, clear picture, you need a much smarter toolkit, one that combines different approaches. The toolkit basically has two main parts. On one side, you've got qualitative methods, like doing really deep interviews with people. That helps you understand the why. Why did they feel a certain way? But to see the whole landscape, you need the other side, quantitative data from big surveys and experiments. That measures the what and how many, the actual behaviors, but on a much larger scale. But here's where the magic really happens. It's when you put them together. The why from the interviews gives you all this rich context for the what you see in the data. This mixed methods approach gives you so much more than two separate reports. It's like going from a flat photo to a full-on 3D model of what's really happening. So, at the end of the day, why does any of this academic stuff matter to us? Well, this journey isn't just about figuring out how ads work. It's about understanding the entire future of how we communicate and how we're influenced in a world where we're talking to intelligent machines all the time. And look,
This isn't just some niche theory being discussed in a back room. This work is getting published in major academic journals, it's winning awards, it's getting funded. That's a huge signal that the world's leading experts are taking this new AI frontier very, very seriously.
And all of this brings us to one final and maybe the most important thought. All this research makes one thing crystal clear. AI is getting really, really good at the art of persuasion. So the question we're all left with is this. As these systems get smarter and more influential, what do we need to learn to make sure we're navigating this new world with our eyes wide open?